And welcome to Spotlight on a Bible Verse, where we take a few moments just to put the spotlight on a particular verse, to study it and see what it has to say, and make applications to ourselves. The spotlight today is going to be on Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 21. Matthew 7:21, Jesus said, "Not everyone that saith to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven." You know, right there in that statement, it says so much to us. Not everyone that says, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven. It's not enough just to say, Lord, Lord. It's not enough just to say, Jesus is my Lord. If we really understood what Lord meant, we would be doing what he says. The word Lord means sovereign. It means ruler or king. If I say that Jesus is Lord of my life, that means he is the king, he is the sovereign, he is the ruler of my life, and that means I'm obedient to him. Are you obedient to the Lord? Now see, not everyone just says, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven, and that's a key point as well. You know, there's a lot of folks today running around with bumper stickers and things. They'll say, honk if you love Jesus. Well, is that what Jesus wants? He just wants us to honk our horns, right? Is that what this is about? Of course not. It's not enough just to honk your horn, or if you love Jesus, wave, or if you love Jesus, whatever. But if you really love Jesus, do what he says. Let's follow in his example. You know, Jesus himself, he was obedient to his Father, wasn't he? He obeyed the Father. He obeyed what the Lord told him to do. And he was obedient. In fact, John 17 talks about this, and many other places, how that he had done the will of God. He had done exactly and only what God had wanted him to do. And as a result, he was our example and is our example, that we might follow in his steps every day. 1 Peter talks about this, chapter 2, and verse 21 and 22. That we follow in his steps. Are you following in his steps? See, not everyone that says, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Let's be obedient to what the Lord has said. In Hebrews 5, verse 8 and 9, he says there, though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. Being then made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Jesus is the author. He is the source, the origin of eternal salvation to all those that obey. In John chapter 14 and verse 15, Jesus will there say, if you love me, keep my commandments. And so yes, if I'm going to have a home in heaven one day, it requires me being obedient today. Are you doing what the Lord says? Are you obedient to him, or do you just do the things that you want when you want to do them? You're not really obedient, you just do the things you like to do. If that's the case, you need to repent. Go back to Matthew 7:21. It's not enough to say, Lord, Lord. You must do the will of my Father. And when we do the will of the Father, then we will be a blessed people. Finally, in Revelation 22, verse 14, which certainly goes and coincides with Matthew 7, Revelation 22:14 says, Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and enter in through the gates into the city. So as we put a spotlight on Matthew 7:21, let's appreciate what is said there. Let's appreciate what's being taught to all of us, and let's make sure we're obedient people, that we might, through our loving obedience and our faithfulness to God, see heaven one day.